guess that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, that's a deep conversation there, because then it goes back to the conversation around like how Nigeria was founded, and the colonial structures that put pressures on individual community leaders, to only look out for themselves and their own people, and then forget about the other parts of the country as well. And then there's also a conversation around how that type of behavior has been incentivized over decades to produce the political outcomes and societal outcomes that we see now. And then and as I think about Nigeria isn't like like a country like Japan, where it's like, all right, we all know we're Japanese. It's like no like tribes or language differences that are existing within the country. Nigeria has over 300 different dialects that are spoken in the country. Hundreds of different cultural differences and traditions within the country. You have different tribes that have their own political and power structures that work to form this thing we call Nigeria. And I think um, those dynamics kind of play against each other, um, to produce what we're seeing now. So, I don't know if y'all have heard of like the Biafra Wars, where you had Yoruba people versus Igbo people, the Hausa people who live in the more northern states, and then we had like that was almost our civil war to a certain extent. I think we see some of that actually playing out again, presently, and then you have elected officials, that aren't taking the proper steps to address those issues, while also siphoning away funds from from the community, and padding their pockets. And then you have a military that's poised to assume power, but the intervention that we've seen them provide in the past hasn't made substantive change to the lives of people existing within Nigeria. So, I think it's a lot of different factors and 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 pressures that produce what we're seeing now. And I think whatever solutions, that are offered to that are put forward to address the issues folks are facing, it's going to be led by young folks. And I think because there is no trust in the established leadership. So I'm really looking to young activists on the ground. Like you have the the student groups leading the largest rally of folks across the country, ever right now. So I'm really relying on that energy and those young folks on the ground kind of pushing this to bring those policy, solutions to fruition. But to your point around like the current, political establishment neglecting their duty to protect people, to uphold basic civil rights and all those things. I totally agree there. I think that party also played a factor in my family's leaving.
Yeah.
Definitely played a factor in my family leaving the country. But I think
Right.
it also inspires me to be more resilient and to figure out what are the ways we can kind of address those issues as well.
So your text chain of organizers is actually global. You have
Yeah,
your local organizers, but then you got your peeps in Nigeria, which means that you probably got some folks in Egypt and maybe you're worldwide, Nife. That's what you just said. You are
Absolutely.
you are
the struggle
worldwide.
the struggle is real,
Right.
and I think in order for us to have uh, sustainable change, it has to be through a network of folks across the globe to
Yeah.
address the issues that we're facing locally to a certain extent. So, yeah.
Yeah.